Hi, everyone. Portia and I are back, and we want to give you the response to all of your questions that you had for the video. So, Portia, thank you so much for watching all the videos and taking the time out to respond to their questions. I just wanted to give you an opportunity if you want to share any feedback from what you saw before we get started with answering the questions.
Thank you, Stacy. I really appreciated getting the videos from Benedicta, Francisca, Delight, Fortune, Mary, and Charlotte. I think you guys have sent me some excellent questions, and I'm looking forward to answering them for you.
All right, thank you. So we're going to start with the first question from Charlotte, and she asked, basically, because you've been in America for some time now, do you think that the life you have would have been better or just different had you stayed in Ghana?
Okay, thank you. So Charlotte, that's a good question, and I think it's a reasonable question to ask to try to understand what my thoughts are. I think that my life would have been different. It's very hard for me to say better or worse, but I think that for sure my life would have been different. I can't tell you that I wouldn't have gone to school the same, because if my parents would have been the same people, they would have still encouraged me to go to school and work hard, which I've always done. And of course, you know, the way that you work hard leads to the success that you have in life. So if I was in Ghana and I continued to go to school and work hard in the same way, I still believe that my life would have been great by the standards that are available in Ghana. So while I think that my life would have been different, I'm not sure that it would be better or worse. I'd hope that it'd be as great or greater even if I were in Ghana.
So do you think that America had a great impact on you?
I do. I mean, I don't know for sure what my life would have been like in Ghana, but I have a great life today. And so I attribute that to the hard work that I've done, to the encouragement of my friends and the support of my family, as well as I think some of it is related to the resources that are available to me where I am in America. So I do think that America's had a good impact on me in my life.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we'll head into the next question from Mary. So Mary asked if you or anyone that you know has been impacted due to the weather changes. Has there been any health complications that you know of?
Well, so you guys are aware that America has 4 seasons. Ghana has 2 seasons. So you have your hot season, your normal season, it's rainy, and then you have your dry season. And America has more of a hot, very hot summer, a fall that's a little bit dry, the winter where it's very, very cold, and then the spring where it's warm and rainy. Um, I have not had any major health complications. I have not known anyone that's had any major health complications because of the weather. Of course, people get sick throughout the year. You'll get your cold, your flu, or even a pneumonia, but usually those things are related to viruses and bacteria as opposed to the weather directly. So if you take care of yourself, if you stay healthy, getting adjusted to the weather is not a major deal. You'll be cold and maybe you need a blanket or a sweater or a jacket, but it's not going to affect you negatively to be in the weather here.
Okay. All right, so Fortune, she asked, how do the teachers keep students in check with discipline here in America?
Okay, so the teachers don't beat anyone with a cane. I'll tell you that. So when I was young, I remember the teachers still had their canes and they still beat students in their hands or on their butts with a cane. And I don't know if that's still going on today. Maybe you guys can send me a video or a note and let me know if that's still happening. But in America, that doesn't happen. The teachers are not allowed to hit or put their hands on anyone's children physically. And also emotional psychological abuse is not tolerated at all. So the teachers are very limited in terms of, in comparison to what the teachers in Ghana would do for discipline. So for discipline, they may take away recess, which is their time to go outside and play. You know, they may escalate the situation to a guidance counselor who is usually a well-trained or qualified resource in the school, and their work is to help guide and promote adherence, I guess, to the rules for any kids that need that support. And then, of course, they also communicate with the child's family to see if there's something that's going on with the child that's causing them to rebel against the rules in the classes. If at any point they cannot get through to the child, sometimes they'll look at detention, sometimes they'll look at expulsion. That means removing the child from the school completely, and the parent has to find another school for the child to attend. So those are some of the things that I'm aware of for how teachers handle difficult children.
Okay. So we have our next question from Delight. And Delight asks, how have you dealt with racial discrimination? And if you've been discriminated against, has there been anyone there to help you?
So racial discrimination in America is, it's a difficult, ongoing, almost daily assault type of thing that happens here. And I think it would be very difficult to find someone of color in America that has not experienced racial discrimination in some way. I have experienced racial discrimination in my own life. And the way that I deal with it is, one, being aware of my surroundings, because if you are in a place where someone can directly and overtly express racism to you, you have to be aware that they may also be able to hurt you. So you have to use your senses to make sure you're safe and that you can get out of that situation before you show, even show your reaction, maybe sometimes. And then it depends too, whether it is like discrete discrimination, you may just recognize, what did she say? Or what did they just do to me? You may choose to address it right then and there. So it kind of depends. In my own experiences, I have done both of what I'm saying here today. In situations where I felt safer to address it, I've addressed it directly to the other person. And in other situations, I've chosen not to say anything and just remove myself from the situation because of fear for safety. Now, there was a second part to that question, right?
She asked if you've been discriminated against, has there been anyone there to help you with that?
So that's difficult to answer and say yes, definitely, because usually, because racism is so pervasive and it's part of American history and culture, and part of that history and culture has been for it to not be recognized, so to speak. Not that it doesn't happen, but there are often people who are refusing to recognize that it is actually happening. For example, you may get a comment that you interpret as racism from someone that you work with, someone that you've known for a while. They may be a coworker, they may even be a friend, but they may say something and they don't even realize how racist the comment that they're making is. So that just speaks to the nature and the way that people don't really know or understand or recognize that racism is still going on. And it's so embedded in the way that we live our lives in America that some Black people don't even recognize when they're being discriminated against. And in the same way, some white people don't recognize when they are being racist, and they will continue to deny and say, no, that's not what I meant, or that's not what I said. And so because unless it's overt and unless you've had some of these experiences and it's very hard to say, directly to someone, I've been discriminated against, I need help. And especially as a Black woman, Black person, there's just nowhere to go and get the help, because sometimes people just they don't agree with you that you need the help, I guess is really what I should say. Or they will essentially blow it off and say, oh, it was just a comment. They didn't mean that. It's just a word. And so people don't understand the gravity of even what they interpret as just a word, but it's rooted in the history for us as people, for Native Black Americans, African Americans who are native to America. It is rooted in the history and the way that they relate to other Black people. And so because of that, America has not really prioritized the health and well-being of Black and Brown people related to racism. If you need help and support related to your experiences, you basically have to get that and arrange it yourself. So you may seek some therapy and counseling from professionals. You may choose to discuss it with your family. You may choose to get support from your friends who've probably experienced the same experiences. And that's in the past what I've done. I've just, I've gone to my family and my friends and we've talked about it, but it is just so pervasive and there are not a lot of resources to help you. You have to help yourself.
That's a really good response to that question. We have our next question from Benedicta, and she asked if you had any perceptions about America or Americans that changed once you moved to the United States.
Well, when I came here, I was pretty young, and I think if I had any perceptions, I don't remember them today. I don't think that I came here with expectations or that I knew what to expect. And so I did not have any expectations on America or the people that were here. I just knew that I was going to America. That's where my father was. And so I was going to where he was going.
Okay, and then we have our final question here from Francisca, and she asks for you to share a personal challenge that you've had in life.
Okay, so a personal challenge that I've had in life, I can relate that to some of the expectations that I've had placed on me in terms of my education and my accomplishments. And, in the family that I'm from and in Ghana in general, we value education so much. And so it's not surprising if you hear me say that my parents wanted me to go to school, they wanted me to do great things. And with that comes a lot of pressure to do well and to be smart and do good things and be a good person, etc. I can say now today that I don't feel that same sort of pressure in my life, although I know that I've gone through a lot of school, I have a good job. And maybe that is why my parents wanted me to go through that. But today I don't feel that same pressure. And so I feel like I'm in a good place where I can say, I no longer feel that pressure. I'm very comfortable saying that I don't feel like I need to continue striving and achieving for better and better and better, and feeling like I'm never satisfied. I feel like I'm in a good place to say I'm happy just going for what I need for myself and my family, and being able to give and support my family as well.
All right, so those are all the questions. So thank you so much, Portia, for answering all the questions, and to all the students that watched the video. I hope that you were able to learn even more now that Portia was able to answer some of the questions that you have. So Portia, again, I'll ask you the same thing as I did before at the end of our first interview, and that was if you have any other well wishes or anything encouraging that you like to share with the students before we sign off.
Yeah, so thank you for all of the great questions. I think this really speaks to the thought processes that you guys are having. I'm happy that you guys are thinking about exploring other places, and you're thinking about traveling, and you're preparing yourself well, I think, for when you land yourselves in different places. I want to encourage you with the fact, it's not an idea, but it is a fact that Africa has great resources and Ghana has great resources. And I'll remind you that many people are coming from many different places to settle in Africa and to settle in Ghana. And while it might not seem great while you're there because of many barriers, whatever the barriers may be, you have to keep in mind there are people leaving places like America. They're leaving places like the United Kingdom, and they're coming and they're settling in Ghana, the place that some people want to leave and never return to. So you have to just keep in mind that perhaps you can look around you and you can see what might be a diamond in the rough. Grab it and shine it, polish it, and you'll have something as bright and shiny as what you think you're looking for out there.
Well, I think I don't have anything else to add after that. I thought that was beautiful. So thank you again, Portia, so much. And if you all have any comments or anything that you would like for me, students, that you would like for me to pass off to Portia, any thank yous or anything like that, just leave them underneath where I post this video to our Google Classroom. All right, thank you so much, Portia, for all your help and
Yeah,
your support.
it's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.